I'm getting that yellow jaundice been going around, I know it. The heebie-jeebies.
It's hepatitis and you don't have it.
Squadron leader Roger Joyce Bushell, born on August 30th, 1910, was a skilled aviator from South Africa serving in the Royal Air Force RAF. He orchestrated the famous Great Escape from Stalag Luft 3 in 1944. Unfortunately, Bushell was among the 50 escapees who were caught and cruelly executed by the Gestapo. Bushell was born in Transvaal, South Africa, on August 30th, 1910 to English parents, Benjamin and Dorothy. His father, who was a mining engineer, had moved to the country from Britain and made sure that Roger had access to the best education possible. After attending school in Johannesburg, Roger went on to study at Wellington College in Berkshire, England, when he was 14. Following that, in 1929, Bushell enrolled at Pembroke College, Cambridge, to pursue a degree in law. Despite his academic pursuits, Bushell had a passion for sports from a young age. He excelled in rugby and cricket, and also represented Cambridge in skiing competitions between 1930 and 1932. In 1931, he even took on the role of team captain. Despite his interest in sports, Bushell's true passion was aviation. In 1932, he became a member of No. 601 Squadron Auxiliary Air Force, which was humorously called the Millionaires' Mob due to the wealthy individuals who paid to learn how to fly on weekends. Bushell was officially commissioned on August 10, 1932, promoted to flying officer on February 10, 1934, and then to flight lieutenant on July 20, 1936. While aiming for a career in the Royal Air Force RAF, Bushell also pursued a legal path at Lincoln's Inn, London. He quickly gained recognition for his legal skills, particularly in criminal defense cases. Eventually, Bushell's expertise led him to handle military cases for RAF personnel accused of various offenses, including cases involving reckless flying. In October 1939, working alongside Sir Patrick Hastings, Bushell successfully defended two RAF pilots, John Freeborn and Patty Byrne, who were court-martialed following the Battle of Barking Creek friendly fire incident. Interestingly, Byrne would later join Bushell at Stalag Luft 3, a prisoner of war camp. In October 1939, Bushell was appointed as the leader of No. 92 Squadron. His promotion to squadron leader was officially recognized on the 1st of January 1940. On the 23rd of May 1940, during the squadron's first encounter with enemy aircraft near Calais while supporting the Dunkirk evacuation, Bushell successfully damaged two Messerschmitt Bf-110 fighter planes of ZG-26. Sadly, he was then shot down himself, believed to be by future ace Oberleutnant Gunther Specht. Bushell crash-landed his Spitfire on German-occupied territory, and was captured without a chance to conceal himself. Subsequently, he became a prisoner of war and was taken to the Dulag Luft transit camp close to Frankfurt, along with the other captured aircrew. Upon reaching Stalag Luft, he became a member of the Corps British team led by Wing Commander Harry Day. Their main responsibility was to assist newly captured Allied aircrew in adapting to their new life as prisoners of war. The notion of escape was a top priority for all officer-ranked prisoners, and it remained a constant thought for him. Luckily, he found himself in capable company with Day and Fleet Air Arm pilot Jimmy Buckley. Day appointed Buckley to oversee escape endeavors, with Bushell as his second-in-command. Together, the trio constituted the escape committee, overseeing all escape missions. The prisoners at the camp had begun digging several tunnels to plan their escape, with one tunnel being completed in May 1941. Bushell was given a spot in the tunnel, but he opted to make a daring escape on the same day as the tunnel breakout, by cutting through the wire fence surrounding a small park in the camp area. His choice not to use the tunnel was driven by his desire to leave earlier, allowing him to catch a specific train. The exact date of the escape is uncertain, but it is believed to have taken place in June 1941. Bushell sought refuge in a goat shed before crawling to the wire fence under the cover of darkness to make his getaway. Unfortunately, he was apprehended by a German border guard just a few yards from reaching freedom at the Stalag Luft 1, alongside the other 17 escapees from the tunnel, including Day and Buckley. Bushell's time at Stalag Luft was brief, as he was soon moved to Auflag XC in Lübeck. While at this new camp, he was involved in the beginnings of another tunnel construction project, which was left unfinished when the camp had to be evacuated. All British and Commonwealth officer prisoners of war were taken from the camp on the 8th of October 1941 and were transported by train to Auflag 6B in Warburg. In the darkness of the night between the 8th and 9th of October 1941, the train briefly stopped in Hanover, where Bushell and Czechoslovak pilot officer Jaroslav Zafok seized the opportunity to escape by jumping off the train, unnoticed by the German guards at that time. Earlier on their journey, 6 other officers attempted to escape by jumping off the slowly moving train, but only one managed to evade capture, while another tragically lost his life by falling under the wheels. Bushell and Zafok traveled to Prague and occupied Czechoslovakia, where they sought refuge with the Zythamo family, Otto, his son Ottokar, and his daughter Blazina, who were active members of the Czech underground resistance movement. The 2 airmen stayed with the Zythamos at their apartment in the Smíchov district of the city, while awaiting arrangements for their next move. Over the course of nearly 8 months, Bushell formed a close bond with Blazina. However, their sanctuary was eventually compromised in mid-May 1942, when they were betrayed by a former Czech soldier named Miroslav Kraus, who had a history with Blazina and was collaborating with the Gestapo as an informant. The RAF officers were apprehended on May 19th and interrogated at Gestapo headquarters, known as the Písek Palace. Subsequently, Bushell was transferred to Stalag Luft III in Saigon, while Zafok remained imprisoned in Prague. Following the assassination of Reinhard Heydrich, the acting Reich Protector of Bohemia and Moravia, in Prague on May 27, Bushell was taken from his confinement at Stalag Luft III to Berlin for further interrogation by the Gestapo, who suspected his involvement in the assassination. He was later returned to Saigon in October with a warning that he would face execution if he ever fell back into the hands of the Gestapo. Zafok too faced intense questioning in Prague before being sent to Auflag 4C at Kolditz. Sadly, the Zythamos met a tragic end, being executed along with other members of the Czech underground on June 30th. Within the confines of Stalag Luft III, Bushell assumed leadership of the escape operation from Jimmy Buckley, who was being transferred to another camp in Poland. Dubbed as Big X, he orchestrated the construction of 3 tunnels, Tom, Dick, and Harry, the manufacturing and stockpiling of escape materials, the implementation of enhanced security measures, and the collection of military intelligence that was covertly relayed to London. Fueled by indignation at the atrocities witnessed in Prague under Nazi occupation, as well as the brutal tactics of the Gestapo, Bushell was resolute in his mission to wage a clandestine war against the Germans from within the camp. His grand plan, famously christened the Great Escape, aimed to cripple the Nazi war machine by orchestrating the escape of 200 prisoners in a single night. In the spring of 1943, Bushell orchestrated a daring plan for a large-scale escape from the prisoner camp. He was detained in the northern compound alongside other British airmen, and as the leader of the escape committee, he directed efforts towards finding vulnerabilities and openings for escape. Drawing on his legal expertise to present his strategy, Bushell convened a meeting of the committee within the camp. His bold plan not only astounded those in attendance, but also instilled in every man a fervent commitment to devote all their efforts towards a successful escape. The simultaneous excavation of these tunnels would prove to be advantageous in the event that one of them was discovered by the Germans, as the guards would not suspect that 2 others were also in progress. The most daring aspect of the plan was not only the size of the tunnels being constructed, but also the large number of men that Bushell planned to escape through them. Previous efforts had seen only a handful of men successfully escape, but Bushell aimed to free over 200 individuals, each equipped with civilian clothing, forged documents, and escape tools. This ambitious endeavor required meticulous organization and coordination. Known as Big X, Bushell was the mastermind behind the epic escape plan known as the Great Escape. The tunnels, named Tom, Harry, and Dick, were carefully hidden within the camp. Over 600 prisoners were involved in the construction of these intricate underground passages. Tom was uncovered in August of 1943, just as it was nearing completion. Additionally, Bushell orchestrated another large-scale escape attempt on the June 12, 1943, known as the delousing break. During this operation, 26 officers managed to flee the prison camp by pretending to be guards escorting them to the showers in a nearby compound. Despite their efforts, all but 2 of the escapees were recaptured and returned to the camp. The 2 remaining officers were transferred to Oflag Force at Colditz for their failed attempt to steal an aircraft. Following the discovery of Tom, construction on a new escape tunnel called Harry was temporarily halted, but it resumed in January 1944. On the night of March 24th, after extensive preparation, 200 officers geared up for another escape. However, their plans hit a snag and only 76 officers were able to successfully break free from the camp. Bushell and his accomplice Bernard Scheidhauer were among the first to make it through the tunnel and even managed to board a train at Sagan Railway Station. Unfortunately, their luck ran out when they were apprehended the next day at Saarbrücken Railway Station while waiting for another train to Alsace. On March 29th, Bushell and Scheidhauer's car came to a stop on the side of the Autobahn near Ramstein, Germany, supposedly en route back to a prison camp. While the 2 were taking a rest break, they were tragically killed by Gestapo members, led by Emil Schultz and assisted by others. This heinous act violated the Geneva Convention and was classified as a war crime. The perpetrators responsible were ultimately brought to trial and executed by the Allies. Out of the 76 escapees from Stalag Luft III, 50 lost their lives in what became known as the murders at the direct command of Adolf Hitler. Bushell was laid to rest at the Poznan Old Garrison Cemetery in Poznan, Poland. He was recognized posthumously in dispatches on the 8th of June 1944 for his dedication as a prisoner of war. This commendation was officially documented in the London Gazette on the 13th of June 1946. Bushell was the basis for the character Roger Bartlett in the film The Great Escape 1963, played by actor Richard Attenborough. Bushell has been portrayed by Ian McShane in the made-for-TV film The Great Escape 2, The Untold Story, 1988.